All right, to Battleground USA now, where Mitt Romney's having a little fun with a potential third run at the presidency.
Now, there's some speculation about whether I'm about to embark on a political endeavor in which I've been previously unsuccessful. Let me state unequivocally that I have no intention of running for U.S. Senator in Massachusetts. That's...
Har, 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 har. That, of course, is the former Massachusetts governor. He spoke to the RNC over the weekend. That was his first public speech since dropping all those hints about another presidential campaign. And in his address, he attacked the policies of his previous opponent, President Barack Obama, and possible future opponent, Hillary Clinton. Romney did not offer any further details, though, about his presidential plans or even when a decision might be made. Run, Warren, Run is officially up and running. The grassroots movement urging Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren to jump into the 2016 race gathered supporters over the weekend in New Hampshire. The campaign is a joint effort by Democracy for America and Move On Political Action. Supporters say Warren is a fighter for the middle class and working families with a record of standing up to corporate interests, and they want her to enter New Hampshire's first in the nation 2016 Democratic primary. Now, Republican presidential candidates will have at least 9 chances to face off against each other in the battle for the party's 2016 nomination. The Republican National Committee announced plans to sanction 9 GOP primary debates and add 3 more if necessary. This is significantly fewer than the nearly 20 debates during the 2012 presidential process. That debate calendar left candidates exhausted. RNC Chairman Reince Priebus says the party made it a priority to shorten the primary calendar in order to choose a nominee sooner rather than later. All right. The list of potential candidates for the presidency in 2016 it's a mighty long one, and getting longer, it seems, every day. And now Americans have weighed in on who they want to see get in the race and who they want to stay out of it. Some of the numbers might surprise you. Christie ranks way down on the list so far as Republicans go. This is according to a new CBS poll. He's way down with controversial Republican Sarah Palin. Look at that. 30% of Republicans want Sarah in, but just 29% want Christie in. Frontrunner Mitt Romney says, hey, go time for Mitt. 59% want him in. All right, what is some of this and some other interesting stuff in this poll? Let's bring in our friend David Martosco from the Daily Mail. He is in Washington, D.C. David, I'm just going to chalk it up to name recognition for Romney being up there and Hillary, too, at the top. This poll, by the way, asked independents and partisans, not folks of other parties. So Democrats weren't asked who they want to run. But, David, I am a little surprised to see Christie sort of down where he is, and I'm assuming Christie's strategists got to be scratching their heads a bit about that, too.
Well, it's not too unusual at this early part of the cycle for the candidates who have been screaming and scratching and clawing and being the most pugnacious to suffer early consequences. I mean, look at who's surviving well in this measurement, at least. It's not Rand Paul and Ted Cruz and Christie. It's Jeb Bush. It's Scott Walker, the governor of Wisconsin, who may or may not even run. These are the sort of calm, quiet, kind, milquetoasty candidates, if they are candidates at all. So if you ask people, do you really want Ted Cruz to run? There's going to be 20 to 22% of Republicans who are Tea Party partisans who say, yes, we love him. Everybody else is going to say, I'm either undecided or I really don't want him in. It's the same old story. The people who can unite the most people to not hate them at this stage are the ones who do well. But I'd caution against reading too much into these polls this early. You know, the field is going to thin out. I don't think, for instance, that Bobby Jindal or Rick Santorum is going to run for president. I don't think Elizabeth Warren's going to run for president. Certainly the Democratic side looks like a fait accompli if Hillary gets in, and she's got, like you said, the name recognition all over the place. But on the Republican side, you know, if people like Romney and Bush and maybe Scott Walker stay the course and don't offend anybody, they stand a very good chance of doing well with fundraising early, and that is going to spell longevity and staying power in what's going to be a very long bruising season.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I like Scott Walker as the dark horse versus, say, let's say Bush and Romney get in, or either of Bush and Romney get in. I think Scott Walker, if he can get a smart team behind him, stands a good chance of really maybe upsetting people. Who knows, maybe going all the way. The thing on the, as you mentioned, who do people dislike the least? Because the flip side in this poll was, who do you not want to come into this race. And Republicans polled, they don't want Sarah Palin. I think hers were like 59%. And she's not going to be in this race anyhow. But just Bush and Romney, it was only like 1 in 4. About 1 in 4 Republicans or independents did not want those guys in. And that goes to your point saying, well, that gives them a little room for growth.
Well, it does. I mean, at this point, the Republicans who say they don't want Jeb Bush to run are saying that on the basis of immigration and the Common Core education system, his endorsement of which has become very controversial, but only among about 20% of Republicans. And for Mitt Romney, it's just the sense of, oh, do we really want to put our stock in this guy again? He's let us down. We're not gonna back him. But it's not a lot of substance there with Romney. Not a lot of people can point to things they don't like about him policy-wise. It's just a gut feeling. But to his credit, he's not doing a lot to increase that gut negative among people. He's being charming. He's being a little bit avuncular. He's kind of being like the chip on the shoulder kind of guy, saying, yeah, we'll get through it. We'll do something. Of course he's running for president. But remember, most importantly with this, as you said, shows who is disliked. And other than Sarah Palin, whose numbers are underwater tremendously, there is nobody who can compete with Chris Christie. And it's not just the people who don't like the Dallas Cowboys. It's not just the Green Bay Packers fans. He has offended a lot of people with his rhetoric, his smack talk, and this whole business of possible corruption and the bridge scandal in New Jersey. A lot of people just say, look, if Republicans are going to win, we need somebody who's pure as the driven snow, and you can't find that in New Jersey.
David Martosco in Washington for us tonight. Check him out in the Daily Mail. David, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anytime.